So on the day of Pentecost, Peter preached to the Jews who had been scattered all over the world, let all the house of Israel. So at that time, they'd been scattered everywhere, but they were gathered back together, and it says God's people had been involved. Oh, yeah, let me read the rest of that verse. Therefore, let all the house of Israel know assuredly that God hath made the same Jesus, whom ye have crucified, both Lord and Christ. So God's people had been involved in the process that led to Jesus' execution. Remember, they're the ones that they were all out there, and they said, who would you choose? Would you choose this man Jesus or Barabbas? And they said, give us Barabbas, give us Barabbas. And then when they said, what should we do with Jesus? They said, crucify him, crucify him. So they played a part, even though it was a plan and it was God's plan. They played a part in that execution of Jesus. And it says, through the resurrection, God declared Jesus to be both Lord and Christ. At first, they had trouble believing the promised Messiah, especially people like Saul or Paul, that he would be crucified. Jesus had told them several times that he would be crucified, buried, and resurrected, but they did not quite understand what he was talking about because they were not expecting a suffering Messiah to come. They were expecting somebody more like David, somebody that was going to come through and free them from the Roman rule, and somebody that would have power and might in a military kind of way. So at first they just couldn't quite grasp that this Jesus could be the Lord of Lords and King of Kings that had been promised. But he's telling them, you see, he's been resurrected. Nobody else has. And God had exalted him to be both Lord and Christ. And he said, it says here that Jesus is Lord was and is basic to the Christian faith. Back to that verse, it says, therefore let all